I wanted to make a video of the anatomic terms because whenever I do this in class on Monday, it's going to be hard to do it where the people at home can see it, same as the people in the classroom. So first of all, it's anatomic position. Anytime we talk about the relationships of anatomic structures, we're talking about them in anatomic position. So anatomic position is standing upright, palms facing forward. You probably can't see my palms, but they're facing forward. And so in anatomic position, the radius is the lateral bone in my forearm. So even if I've got my hand up like this, where now it's medial, it's still the lateral bone of the forearm, because we always talk in reference to anatomic position. Okay, so prone is just anatomic position, but the person is laying on their abdomen. Supine, anatomic position, but the person is laying on their back. And you'll use these terms all the time. For instance, a surgeon dictating his opno might say the patient was placed in the prone position, skin on the back was prepped and draped in a sterile fashion. So these are things that you'll hear and use every day. Anterior means toward the front. So my umbilicus is anterior to my lumbar spine, and my lumbar spine is posterior to my umbilicus. And in humans, anterior and ventral are the same thing. Now, they're not in four-legged animals. So think of a dog walking on all fours. This is not going to be anterior, but it is going to be ventral. Okay, and posterior, same. Since we're upright animals, it's dorsal. But it's not in animals. Think of the dorsal fin of a shark. Again, for humans, same thing. Cranial or cephalad or cephalic, that means toward the head. So my chin is cephalad to my sternum. Caudal means toward the tail. So it's going to be, in animals, that's where you're going to find their tail. But so in humans, caudal means it's toward the tail. So my sacrum is caudal to my shoulder. Superior means something just has a higher relationship than something else. My sternum is superior to my umbilicus. My umbilicus is inferior to my sternum. Medial means something is more toward the center of the body than something else. My sternum is medial to my shoulder. Lateral means it's farther away from the midline than something else. So my shoulder is lateral to my sternum. Proximal means something is closer to an origin than something else. So the origin of my arm is up here at my shoulder. So my shoulder is proximal to my elbow. Distal means something is farther away from an origin. So my elbow is distal to my shoulder. Palmar just means the palmar surface of the hand. Plantar is the soles of our feet. That's the plantar surface. You may have heard of plantar warts. They are warts that grow on the soles of the feet. Superficial means that something is more toward the outside of the body than something else. So my umbilicus is superficial to my small intestines. My small intestines are deep to my umbilicus. So I can't overemphasize how that you need to know these really well and be fluent in them. In the past, I'd had students miss things on exams, and I was like, why? I know they knew that. But it was because they didn't understand the anatomic terms as well as they should, and so they would misconstrue the question. So learn these, most important part of the first lecture.